In this video, we're going to look at the Gradebook. In previous videos, we have seen how you can grade assessments and how you can look at the grades of quizzes as individual items. The Gradebook is a place where you can see and manage all of the grades that are applicable to this course. To get to the Gradebook, you need to go to the icon on the top right indicated there. When you're in the Gradebook, I want you to notice over on the left, you have these two links here. These are the two main views that you have with Gradebook, the gradable items and the students. By default, you're looking at gradable items, and that's all of the things in the course that can be graded. So that is quizzes, assignments, in some cases forums when you have marked them to be graded, and anything else like that. Also have their attendance, which if you're using attendance, either entering it manually or using it from Collaborate, this is shown as a graded item. And when you click on any of these, you will be able to see the students have submitted and you'll be able to assign grades. The other view you can see is by student. So here you see all of your students, and from that you can open up that student record and you can go in and enter a grade for them for each one of the gradable items. So this is the two different ways that you can view grades. Next, I want you to notice the upload and download buttons up on the top there. The purpose of these buttons is to be able to download your grades into Excel. And if you want to then enter all of the grades and deal with them within Excel on your desktop rather than in Blackboard on your browser, which you may find more efficient, especially if you have a lot of students and a lot of items to grade, you can do that. And then you can upload it back using the upload button. We'll have a look at how that works. First, I'm going to click download. I'm going to select to download the entire gradebook. Then I'm going to, on my desktop, find that file and open it. So this is the gradebook, and you have on the left-hand side the names of the students, first name, last name, username, student ID. And along the top, it's a little bit hard to see because the columns are not as wide as they should be. You can see the different gradable items here. So what you can do here is you can put in different grades, and it's important that you don't add any new columns or any new rows. You don't put in any formulas, and you also don't change the file format in any way, because you need to make sure that it's in the format that Blackboard understands. Once you've done that, you can simply save that, and I'm going to say yes, keep using this format, because I want it to stay exactly the same. I don't want to change the file type or anything like that. And then I can go back to Blackboard. I can click on upload, upload local file, select the same file that I downloaded that I've then modified and saved, and click upload. Now you can see that this has added these new items. If you click on the cog in Gradebook, this is where you can set up your Gradebook settings. So for example, you may want to change the grading schema. It's set up by default like this, but if you have a different schema that needs to be used, that's where you can set it up. You can also set up automatic alerts. If a student hasn't logged in to this course in a number of days, you get an alert and so do they, or if percentage grades fall below a particular threshold, then alerts happen. And rubrics can be managed and created here. This is covered in full in another video. Back on the gradable items page, you may notice as you hover over, you have the plus symbol popping up. If you click on that, you can do two things here. You can add an item, and this is where you will be adding an offline activity. So this is if you have some kind of gradable activity that does not take place in Blackboard, you can create an entry for that there so that you can still use Blackboard for all of your grading. The other option here is to add a calculation. This is so that if, for example, you want to create as an aggregate grade of other items, you can do that there by adding or averaging or whatever other calculation you want to do in order to automatically calculate from other items. As you will see, some of these items here have post grades next to them. That's where grades have been entered, but they have not yet been posted. What that means is that you're able, and all instructors are able, to see these grades, but the student is currently not able to see them because they've not been finalized. But of course, it is necessary, assuming you want your students to receive their grades through Blackboard, to post the grades here. However, depending on how your college does things, it might be that they are to receive their grades in a different way and you never actually have to post the grades in Blackboard. You'll need to discuss this internally, how you're going to work with that. The final thing I want to show you here is that if you click on any gradable items, it brings up the list of students, as you've already seen. And from here, you can open the student's entry. So they have, in this case, 2 attempts. So I can open attempt 2. And here I get straight into the submission. This is exactly the same process as you saw in the assignment video, but in that case we were going through the assignment entry itself and getting there that way. This way you get to it through Gradebook, but otherwise it's identical. You have the rubric, you have the originality report, you have feedback. One tip just to show you with the feedback is if you click in Insert Content, it is actually possible to add a recording. You hit the Start Recording button, it gives you a countdown, and then you can give some voice feedback to the student, and then when you're finished, you press Stop, and you press Save and Exit. Then when I save this, and I could have added text alongside that as well, they have a voice recording there.